Top of the morning. Jack Daniels, Coach Jack Daniels, the Boxing Trainers Channel. And we here at the Boxing Trainers Channel are glad to be here for one thing, because we woke up this morning in the grace of the Creator. That in mind, it's a good day. It's a good day to be above board and in a position where we can talk boxing. Boxing is what we talking about on this particular podcast. And last night we had a good show. It was so hilarious, right? A couple guys jumped in from what I believe they never announced it, but I'm taking it upon myself to speculate that Nash from the Boxing Voice jumped in on my channel last night and participated, which was a good thing. And this other brother by the name of David Lamar. David Lamar is a artist. He is a entertainer, a singer, right? He constantly frequents the show, but this morning I was curious and I YouTubed him. I pulled his file up on YouTube, and lo and behold, this guy is a entertainer, and he is a boxing historian, to say the least. Some of the things that he says are consistent with um, a professional boxer or a professional trainer's ideology when it comes to training, right? What one does in the ring, how he trains a trainer, or how he boxes when he boxes, right? The topic came up last night about the jab. The jab, in my opinion, is the um, best tool in the tool shed when it comes to um, keeping your opponent off balance, right? It's like the jab is used, in my opinion, right, to move your opponent in the position that you want him moved in, and to leverage and attack based on your jab, right? And another thing that the boxers don't do today, and I find this really hard to believe, right? They don't use the jab as frequently, and they don't start with a jab and end with a jab. You understand what I mean when I say that? I mean, when you in a in the ring, boxing or sparring, right? You start with a jab, right? Everything is off the jab, right? And to prevent your opponent from any aggression, right? You start with a jab, bow, 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 whatever combination, and at the end, so he won't be in a position where he's thinking, well, he's finished with his jab, so this is what I'm going to do, right? Automatically, if a boxer isn't ending with a jab, your opponent is automatically in a position where he can counter. But if you finish with a jab, bow, bow, right? He's stuck. He got to reset, right? And that's the beautiful thing about the jab, right? You start with a jab and you end with a jab. And like I said today, the boxers, even the good ones, all the great ones, right? There's a few of them. I believe Torrance Bud Crawford starts with a jab and ends with a jab, right? Maybe Canelo, somebody like that that's been experienced boxers, start with a jab and end with a jab. Those are the principles of boxing, man. Your jab, you start with it and you end with it. Now, I think y'all ponder that over while we move forward. And let me get this chat open up, because I had okay, the chat is open as well. So tonight, June the 7th, 2024, we have a fight to, in my uh, job description, I have a fight to review. And this is a fight that I am clamoring to review between Adrian Jerome Bronner. Everybody, I just stumbled upon Adrian Bronner's middle name. It's Jerome. Agent Jerome Bronner versus Blair the Flair Cobbs, right? Yeah, you know what? I listened to Blair the Flair the other night, right? And he has this this I guess if you would call it an entrance, right? When he makes this 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 Flair, Ric Flair entrance, right? Where he's, oh, you know what I mean? I'm like, damn, he stole that. He stole that from Ric Flair. But anyway, this fight makes for an interesting match, right? First of all, both of these cats are 34 years of age. And now, at 34, you still got some good boxing ahead of you, right? If you stabilize yourself and you work on your craft, right? You don't do, and I don't mean to talk down on Adrian, but the facts are as it is. You don't clown away your life in the streets doing stupid stuff, as Adrian Broner has typically done uh, most of his career. That's why it's hard for Adrian Broner to get a fight. And Blair Flair just happens to be a viable opponent, right? Who hasn't been that active in the sport that needed to fight as well, right? Both of these guys are clamoring for a win, so this should be a good fight because both of them have to have a win in order to kind of like stabilize their career, what's left of it. So Adrian Broner is actually, I think I need to say this, Adrian Broner is actually a 4-division world champion. In his days of being in the light, if you will, right? Adrian Broner was a dang good boxer, right? But in my opinion, Adrian Broner was never able to embrace the success, the money, the big money, and the lights is what killed Adrian Broner. Notwithstanding the fact that Adrian Broner came from Baltimore in the ghettos, and he didn't have the mentor available to knock some sense in his head verbally, right, if necessary, and physically. He didn't have that type of person around him like myself. I would have loved to have Adrian Broner in my stable, right? And I think I made comments to that regard, and in hopes that Adrian Broner would have heard me and so I could have had a conversation with him about his behavior. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type of cat. I'm gonna tell you about yourself, right? I am going to make you believe that you are really making a fool of yourself in the sport and about your business, right? And I believe that I am that intellectually inclined enough to do that to basically anybody, right? There, of course, people gonna get mad, right? You know what I'm saying? Today, especially for us as a people, we roll with our ego. That's a typical thing for the black man, right? We we allow our egos to inflate to such a degree where we can't comprehend knowledge, advice. You know what I mean? We just can't do it, right? And that is a sad state for us to be in. But it comes with the fact that that is a part of our training. That's the way that we have been trained to conduct ourselves, right? I'm not going to get into the politics involved in how that transpired because you already know how I feel about that, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to leave that with the master has trained us well to be fools and to be buffoons and act in any other way than intelligent. How about that? So but in regards to Adrian Broner needs somebody, you know what I'm saying, that can compete with that stupidity, right? That's gonna get in his ear and say, man, nobody's trying to hear that dumb stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do? Knock it out, you know what I'm saying? If you do, use some consequences to that also, you know what I'm saying? But if I'm training you, which that's what you really need, right? I got something for you to keep you stable, right? That ripping and running, making a complete, I mean, you're 34 years of age, man. It's time, you understand, to 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 make amends with your career, right? You 34, you got at least 3 to 4 good years left if you can contain that dumb stuff. It's because that's what it is, Adrian Broner. It's dumb stuff, brother. You make a complete fool of yourself at the behest of thinking it's slick and it's cool. Ain't nothing slick about being a fool, AB. You heard me. Anyway, AB is 34 years of age. He has he's 5'6" with a 70-inch arm reach. He's a right-handed. He had 35 wins, 30. He has 35. He has 35 wins, 24 by knockout, 4 losses. He's never been stopped, no draw. Adrian Broner again is a 4 division world champion. He has that uh uh win ratio up under his belt. And Adrian Broner is a good boxer, but I just don't think that Adrian Broner has ever boxed at the level of greatness that he's capable of. That is as the result of kind of like not being trainable. You know what I'm saying? I say that about a lot of these cats, but that is the only explanation that I can give for people like Adrian Broner, Rolando Rolly Romero. I'm quite sure there's others, but some people, because of their mindset, right? You know what I'm saying? Uh, a, Rolando Rolly Romero is a prime example of the type of person I'm talking about that is untrainable. You see Rolly Romero working out, right? He's orthodox. I mean, he doesn't have he doesn't have anything, a jab, a good left hand. I mean, Rolly Romero is untrainable. He could have been a good boxer, but I think that in his bird brain mind, he believes that I think his trainer said this once that Rolly Romero believes that his way is the best way. Something to that effect. So that in and of itself to me is untrainable. That thought process is untrainable. Adrian Braun has to be like-minded because with those type of wins as a champion, right? You went in there with something, right? But somewhere along the line you got distracted. You know what I mean? If you have you are a 4 division world champion, you just don't go up and down with that, right? You maintain that level of greatness, right? Adrian Broner maintained that greatness. Or Adrian Broner bounced off the wall for years. And I'm thinking this might be Adrian Broner's last chance because people are just tired of messing with Adrian Broner. And I like Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner is a good dude. He has a good heart. He's charismatic as ever. But I don't think he can listen. Anyway, Adrian Broner versus Blair the Flair Clives. Blair Clives is 34 years of age as well. He's 5'10" with a 72.8 inch arm reach, which is going to make that quite interesting because he has a couple of inches, approximately 3 inches on Adrian Broner, right? He's a left-hander, and I don't think Adrian Broner does very well with left-handers. Contrary to that fact, the particulars, Cobbs has 16 wins, 10 by knockout, 1 loss. He's been stopped in that 1 loss and 1 draw. Right now, Blair the Flair is a left-hander, and I can't say anything bad about Blair Flair other than he kind of like runs his mouth more than he boxes. You know what I'm saying? And he uses the excuse that people are scared of him. That's right. He can't get a fight, right? And I can't elaborate on that because I don't know if that's true or false. But I know that with 16 fights up under your belt at 34 years old of age, right? There is something kind of stagnating about that. You know what I mean? Like you only got 16 fights in age of 34. I just don't know about that. You know what I mean? And Will we'll find out one way or the other tonight, right? These guys fight tonight. Tonight, I'm quite sure uh, Don King has is airing this out as a pay per view. Hey, it's Don King. That's what Don King do. Create pay per view shows, right? So that being said, this is a welterweight bout at the 147-pound weight. And again, somebody has got to have that O on there, right? And I'm thinking because of the experience of Adrian Broner, Adrian Broner will win this one. I got Adrian Broner. And what about y'all? With that, hit the subscription button, hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section and tell me what you think about Adrian Broner's demise all these years. And share the videos with your friends and relatives. Help me build this podcast to one of greatness. That is my ambition, people. That is my ambition. So, with that, I'll see you tonight. Later.